Welcome back to My Trick Media. We are here today to do skeleton episodes 3 and 4. Did I just say skeletons episode? The Skeleton Crew.
I wasn't going to say anything, but...
Skeleton Cruise episodes. So, yeah.
Yeah, so this one starts off showing the parents.
Fucking Wendell, dude. He actually...
You said that, I'm like, who the fuck is Wendell?
He actually looked concerned.
Yeah,
remember in the first couple episodes, we were like, yeah, he didn't really seem like he cared.
It's like, where'd my kid go? Fuck it. No, but I thought it was good that they showed, like, I kind of like how they showed that their parents were, like, cooperating with each other. Like, no, I don't feel like anybody's blaming each other.
Right.
Like, I actually like how they, like, all sat down together, though. And we got to, like, kind of see the parents, and, like, they're actually concerned and shit.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder where the fuck they went. And then, like, I like how they're starting to, like, it's almost like they're all sleeper agents in a weird way. Like, they're starting to be like, well, why the fuck can't we contact them? And the droid's kind of just like, we cannot contact them because they are out of our solar system. Or whatever fuck. We can't, like...
It's against protocol.
It's against protocol to, like, get a transmission out because then people could know where they're at.
Yeah.
So... like that, and then so we jump.
Well, first of all, before we jump, I thought it was funny when the droid was like, yeah, they illegally broke the barrier. I was like, you think these kids figured out how to break the barrier and it was like their fault? Like, come on.
It's called
like,
jumping through hyperspace.
I thought the
while in
droid was
atmosphere.
I thought the droids were gonna be like, yeah, so you guys are going to prisons for your kids' crimes. I thought that's what they were gonna do.
Yeah, and or like, yeah, we're gonna send you guys because we're not fucking looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then we jump back to this pirate hideout, and fucking like they're finally like they're like interrogating the man of 8 names, Jod, Crimson Jack, what did we say, Silvo? Like this dude has so many fucking names, which I don't know if you knew like instantly, but like I knew he was gonna be not who he said he was,
Right.
like instantly, and like
Well, technically, when we learn a little bit later on, he never said that he was a Jedi.
yeah, but like that's bullshit.
He didn't deny it, but he didn't say it either.
It is like I think it was funny too how they're going through like they're like yelling at each other like, well, maybe he doesn't have the Force, maybe he used like a tiny string or like
Or a
he used
magnet.
repulsor lifts or like magnets.
I mean, that's literally what we said in the last episode. It just looked a little weird.
yeah.
And
I low-key think he might have the Force.
I think he does too. I think he's just a Force sensitive that's just been around pirates his whole life.
Yeah.
And that's just what he is because of that.
I mean, yeah, he would have grown up Outer Rim world so like he probably just never was found.
Right.
Or he was one of the foundlings that they never got to.
Right.
Because they just had catalogs of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, you never know. It could have been... he could have just been out there as a pirate, a young pirate.
yeah, and what was weird is like, so I was talking to a guy at my job, and like he was like, "Oh yeah, like I knew this from the beginning when I heard the voice. Like, I knew that Silva was that guy because I just knew Jude Law's voice." He was like, when they did the changer, he's like, I knew who it was. So like, and like as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. Like, yeah, but so like, yeah, so they're like trying to leave, and like he's like showing them that he has the Force by like knowing that one guard is gonna walk in front.
Which honestly is probably just more protocol for the people to be walking around at different shifts than it is for him to be like, oh, I'm using the Force.
He's clearly been here before.
Right.
He's a pirate.
Right.
So
Yeah, I was watching that scene and I was like, there's no way he's using the Force. I mean, he could be, but like, I feel like it's almost just like this is protocol. They're walking around to see if like people are escaping and stuff. Like, I don't know.
yeah, and then so like they're like escaping, and I wanted to bring this up. They had Jawas. I thought they looked really good. I was like like everything that happens in the show, it's like that Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's like I feel like I'm doing that at the TV like a lot. I'm like, oh look. So yeah. So then they get on the weird tarp bubble escape shippy things.
I hate that thing. It's stupid.
And they're like going, and they're like, we need to go get SM-33. And he was like, a droid?
Did you know
Are we
the thing
serious?
drives that little like bubble thingy was in like the old Ewok show. The little like furry
that
thingy.
terrible show that people talk about.
Yeah, he was in that show.
Really?
Yeah, they just brought him in for.
I feel like Star Wars is doing that a lot in this show. Like,
Yeah,
do you
they
remember
are.
this? Like, we were talking about how they showed that scene from the Christmas special.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, if you'd never seen that clip, you wouldn't even know. Like,
Honestly-
it's so unnoticeable.
Honestly, I didn't know. I didn't know what it was
Yeah,
until I saw it on Instagram later. That
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay.
day. I was like, oh.
There was
okay.
so much going on, though, that it's like, that's not what I was paying attention to.
Right.
Like, I was looking at these blue elephants who were watching it.
Yeah, with comb overs and.
And yeah. So yeah, they get onto the ship and he's like gearing up. He obviously knows how to fly a ship.
Well, first
And-
of all, he was like, "It's not that piece of shit, is it?"
Dude, I love how they had like dust flying off of it. It legit looked like a
Dude,
piece
when
of
it
shit.
jumped to hyperspace the first time, and then the dust trail that it left behind, I was like, "What the hell?" It still does it.
Yeah, there was some dusty ass like Republic ships. That is a dusty ass ship,
Yeah,
dude.
it just looked like it reeked. Like it was like oozing dust off of it as it was sitting there. It was weird.
So then, what are we calling him? Jod, Silvo,
I guess Jod.
Crimson. I like Crimson.
I guess his name's Jod. That's what they call him. Or Jack. It's easy.
Jax, I think. Crimson Jack. I don't.
It's just Jack. Crimson Jack.
Jax. I thought it was Crimson Jax.
I think it's
Jax. What the fuck did I say?
I
just
think
said a
it's just
conniption.
I think it's just JACK.
I'm gonna call him Silvo. Fuck it. So Silvo, they're like, we need to go get SM-33. So he's like, I'll go. And he's like going and like, he's like what like the character that I feel like when we see things happen in movies, we're like, whoa, just do this. He's one of the characters that does that. Well, he's like, yeah, just hit all the droids like on and off buttons if you
Right.
don't need them. Like, I feel like that's something that's like so like why didn't they ever do that with how many other droids? Like C-3PO, we could have used that a lot.
Yeah.
Just power his ass down. But he goes in, and I thought it was cool that they showed a battle droid,
Right.
and that thing looked like shit.
Well, I don't know if you caught it. It said, "Did we win?"
Yeah, dude.
And I was like, "Dude, that droid just woke up."
Did we win?
That droid just woke up. I was like, "Did we win the battle?" I wish it would have said the name of a battle. That'd have been cooler.
Yeah. Did we win Geonosis?
Yeah, like if it would have said like a name to a battle, that'd have been really cool. I thought it was cool anyways. And then it like woke up and it was like remembering a battle probably from the Clone Wars, and like I wish it would have said one. That'd have been
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think we've said it. Like, I think just like that room in general, like they're doing such a good job with characters and callbacks and stuff. Like, I feel like that's like the thing I appreciate the most so far is that like they definitely at least did their fucking homework.
They're not combining anything into the story, but they're appreciating stuff from the story of Star Wars.
Yeah, like, and it's not in bad taste or just thrown in. Like, they're like, okay, they're in a junkyard full of droids. Like, a battle droid could be there. Like, that makes sense.
Right.
Like, it's not like there's a junkyard full of droids and then there's like like R34 with Obi-Wan on, like that, like,
Right.
just the head of him would have been there. Like, okay, that makes no sense.
Right.
But like, it's just a normal ass battle droid. So
Right.
like,
And even in the Clone Wars, we get to see them use battle droids and they like rewire them to do whatever.
yeah.
The Jedi do it. Like that one kid on that one planet did it where they were just his servants and shit. Like they're just droids. I mean, you can program them for whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, and he I keep wanting to call him Smee. SM-33 is like, dude, he's such like a funny character because he's just like an asshole constantly.
Right.
He fucking turns him on and he's like, hey, you SM-33, what's it to you?
Well, we get to learn real quick in the end of the next episode, episode 4. Why
Yeah, well, we'll get to that.
why he's the way
shit
he
got
is.
interesting,
Yeah.
and then credits ran, and I was pissed.
I know. I was like, dude, there's no fucking way we're gonna get this shit 2 seconds later. It's gonna end.
So he ends up taking him back, and like the one guy is like who was part of Silva's crew was just there, like, yeah, what's up? Why'd they let you out? He's like, they didn't. I was like, I thought there was gonna be a shoot off.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna. I thought he was gonna kill him. Which I mean, there was shoot offs. They were after him after that. He could have killed that guy. They just didn't show it.
I mean, maybe.
I thought he looked really good too, like his species. I'm not sure what they are off the top of my head, but
Yeah.
I guess there was one in the first episode too.
Yeah, it's those things that their heads kind of go like this.
Yeah. I thought it looked really good though.
Yeah. Yeah, and then so obviously like he gets back to the ship and first off I didn't know those little like things had guns on them. He was like flying those piece of shit plastic things. It was like firing. But so they're gearing up the ship and shit and yeah, like I felt like he was playing like you remember the Clone Wars or Lego Star Wars when you have to take down the fucking AT-ATs and you gotta like spin in a circle after you shoot them. I felt like that's what he was doing. Like that reminded me of when he was like spinning and breaking all the ships together.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, oh dude, that reminds me of just driving in circles constantly. Yeah.
I thought it was crazy that he's like, we're gonna jump to hyperspace.
Yeah.
Connected to
like you're not supposed to do that, and he's like, yeah, you're not. And then they go to fire that giant. I feel like every cannon in this movie is giant.
Yeah.
Or movie, the show. Like I feel like their guns are either pistols that they have to cock or they're giant fucking blasters.
I wanted to save this for later, but since you brought up movie now, I'm just gonna bring it up now. Do you think that this show would be better if it was just a movie?
No.
Because I do.
I
do,
I think
because-
it would have to be 2 movies. We don't know where it's going yet.
It depends on what 4 through 8 is gonna be like.
I mean, we're through 4, and I feel like there's so much story left.
The problem is I felt like watching these 2 episodes specifically, I feel like all of the stuff that happened, it was just dragged out for a long period of time. And I get it. Episode 3 and 4.
I don't think 4 was.
I do.
I think 4 was very meaningful. It taught us a lot about shit.
I think it's
We'll get to it.
foreshadowing a lot of stuff that could be going on later.
I think it was a lot of history shit, which I like.
I don't know. I just feel like when we get these episodes and then like episode 4, for example, it just cut off at the end. And I don't
They
know,
did that on purpose.
I know they did, but I don't know. I just feel like it'd be a better movie. You'd be able to condense everything
they
down.
would have to cut out all of the stuff that we think are good, though. They would have to cut out every little rinky-dink scene that's a callback.
Maybe.
Which I guess some people might like, but I don't know if I would.
I don't know. Depending on how these next 4, like just going based off these first 4, I think it could be a movie.
I think it'd have to be 2.
I think we would just have to see how much information they pack into the rest of it.
Because here's my thing: is that like I have a theory about how it's gonna go, which kind of got changed in the 4th episode, which is something I really liked about it. But like, I guess we'll get into that. But so they're back on the ship and they jump to hyperspace, heading towards his friend, which I
thought it was gonna be is her name Moss from the 7th
I knew
movie?
what you're talking about.
I thought it was going
when
to be
he
her.
first started talking, I was like, he was like, this person knows Star Charts, and I was like, he's not how much Acosta knew, is he? And I'm like, that's way too far.
Yeah.
I don't know when she does.
I thought it
She's alive during the Empire.
I thought
Because
it
she tries to fight, or Vader tries to fight her, and she gets away.
I thought it was going to be Moss, and it would have tied something in, because that.
I'm glad it wasn't.
Well, she was 1,000 years old. I think it would have been kind of cool to throw her in there. I mean, you guys know how we feel about the sequels, but like I don't know. I just feel like if you,
I felt like it could have been pushing it. I feel like that Moss has been like, I think that's her name, by the way.
I think I don't know.
I feel like she's been camped up where she's at for a while, though.
Maybe
I feel like they're not in the same.
we are
sector.
still talking about like a 30 or 40 year span.
Yeah.
So I mean,
But so they're flying to this place and he's like sneaking around the ship and SM's just not about it.
Yeah.
He like stole that dude's knife. That was
I
stealing
thought it
is
was
like
I thought it was interesting how he looked at the guy, like almost like he did it. You know what I mean? When he was standing there.
SM?
No. What name are you calling him? I'll just call him the same name. Silvo. When he was standing in front of the pirate,
he looked like he knew him.
he looked like he
But it's definitely been way before.
he looked like he did it. When he stood there and like looked at the blade, he looked at him and then looked at the blade, and I was like, it looked like he did that. He acted like he had done that, and he was like looking over his like proud work that he did.
I mean, a little bit, but I think he was just like, I think he just was like, I don't know the word. Like, damn, this dude got killed. And like, we find out why later on. So we'll get to that again. But, yeah, he was just snooping around. And first off, I don't know where he found such clean clothes at, but he like went back, got changed, and was like all clean and shit.
He
I was
also
like, okay.
grabbed the sword and took it out of the guy and then shoved it into a sword pouch that he had on his waist. And I'm like, that's another reason why I think he did it.
I just feel like it's too old.
It literally fit perfectly in there.
Yeah, but that thing's dusty as fuck.
I don't know.
I feel like, no, because SM would have known who he was then.
No, he wouldn't, because SM's a little fucking screwy. We know he is.
I mean, yeah, but I feel like towards the back half, what happens?
He did kind of act like he knew who he was, though, later. When they were on the second planet, or on the planet that they went to in the 4th episode.
I don't think it makes sense, though, because he wasn't
Hey, all I got
on that planet.
All I gotta say is you said that you had a theory, and then episode 4 changed it. So I don't know.
Well, no, it like I had a theory and it changed it, and then I have another theory.
I don't have shit. I'm like sitting here.
I don't have a goddamn thing.
I'm sitting here watching this. Is like I don't know where this is gonna go.
Yeah. Well, so anyway, so they're like flying, dude. Why does all of the food look disgusting?
Yeah.
They're eating that fucking blue, green paste. Whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
It looks like like when copper oxidizes or whatever the hell. It looks like the Statue of Liberty. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah.
It looks like a screw in a underwater that's just been corroding.
That's one of
Corrosion.
those.
Is that what I was looking for?
That's one of those scenes though where I look at it and that's where I'm like, this could be a movie, because like that was completely unnecessary.
But I feel like it takes away from the world building. I think shows
I
are better
don't
if shows
disagree.
are done better.
I don't disagree. I mean, these are the episodes that are going to be longer. You know what I mean? Like these are like
We're getting into the meat of something that's gonna happen.
right, and no, and I get that, and like it's completely fine. I'm not saying it's not, but I don't know. I just right now I feel like a movie would have been better, but I could probably change my mind with the rest of the show. So I guess we'll see. But
Yeah. And then back to the old jokes. The little girl was like, Fern was like, I'm not even tired, and then they cut to her just knocked out. I was like, Jesus.
I thought it was funny when he laughed at it. He like looked at her and he was like,
KB's a dog.
It was weird when she was sitting there. Like she was like, she's got her.
Because she's got like her cyborg or what is it? What is the guy from Star Trek called?
I don't know.
We're gonna get shit on for that.
I don't know.
It's
Every time you asked me this,
guy.
you asked me this last time, and I was trying to think of the Family Guy
Oh,
episode
dude,
to figure
we
it
talked
out.
about it and then I forgot. Guys, we have issues. I'm not looking it up. So,
Yeah.
Stop. No. So they go to this moon, which I thought was weird because it looked like Earth and our moon. Like it was weird looking to me, but
Maybe it was. Maybe because Earth is in Star Wars.
no, but it's destroyed.
It's not destroyed.
It's
It
ransacked.
became a.
It became Wall-E.
Basically, it became like a dumpster planet because once we figured out we were able to leave, it basically just fucking started rotting away.
Yeah, dumpster planet.
Well, it's like that one planet from the Clone Wars.
It depends on how far in the future because our sun was going to explode in 5.6 billion years.
I mean,
So
I
it
don't know.
depends. Don't know.
But I know it's in the Star Wars universe to some extent, regardless if it's blown up yet or not. But yeah, it just becomes like a trash planet. And then the moon would just be there. And if she like was like, oh, nobody's going to come here. It's a trash planet. I can just hide out on this moon.
Yeah. So this is where shit starts getting interesting. I will agree. The big chunk before this did nothing.
Yeah.
Was kind of just a get to hear.
Well, by the way, I wanted to say this. We jumped a little bit too far, and I forgot because we started talking about something else. But when they jumped to hyperspace and that wire went back and destroyed, like,
Oh, I forgot I was going to
yeah,
talk about that.
I was like, oh, he's in the shithole now. And then they put a bounty on his head. I was like, yeah,
Bro, that fucking direwolf thing is a dog. Like, that's. He's a motherfucker, though. He let that shit fall right in front of him and was like, put a bounty on his ass. Let's go.
Yeah, he
Like,
didn't even move.
He didn't give a
just
fuck.
let that thing damn near crush him.
I love how everyone doesn't give a fuck in this show.
Yeah.
No one gives a fuck.
It's pirates, dude. They don't give a shit.
Yeah, I guess. Like, yeah. So,
Anyways, sorry.
So they go to this planet, they land far as fuck away, and they immediately like, oh, so we landed to where they couldn't like find our ship.
Yeah, by the way, these kids are a little bit smarter than I anticipated.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. The beginning of this episode, like, Fern is on top of it. KB's always on top of it.
Yeah.
But then we have the two boys who are fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Wim and Neil literally are one of those kids. It's like, that says danger with candy. Let's go to the danger with candy side. They're so fucking, like, just, this is a bad idea. Okay.
Yeah, that's the cool part about
I
it.
think Neil is like one.
Well,
I think Neil is my favorite. Of
I
the
don't remember
kids,
what
though.
I think it's in the 4th episode. I'm gonna just say
Well,
it. But,
no,
no.
we'll get to it because Neil's a dog in that episode.
No, not about Neil. It's about Wim.
Oh,
He was
Wim.
like, they were like, we're going home, and he was like, oh, I was just starting to get fun.
It reminded me of Anakin.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I was just starting to have fun. Anyway, we get to this building. And she immediately already called, like, you could see that someone already called it in. Like,
Yeah.
okay, they're here. That's him. That's Crimson Jacks, whatever we're called. What was the name of the guy in Rogue One?
Which guy?
The guy who plays Vision.
The guy that plays Vision?
Yeah, he's in Rogue One. He plays the bad guy. They go up into his tower and he has like the little knife thing.
That's in Solo.
Fuck that one.
I was like, what? It's
My bad.
Crimson Dawn.
Dawn. What's that one of people named Crimson?
I don't know. Like I heard them say Crimson Jack, and I was like, yeah, but I don't know what the guy's name is, and it's not. I don't think that's his name. I think they are a part of the Crimson Dawn.
Is the new guy's name Crimson Jack?
Yeah.
He's like an actual like character that's in like the he's a character that was in the comics. His nickname was Redbeard, and that was given to him by Han Solo.
Nice.
He was a pirate master of a gang of space pirates.
It was
which
given to
operated
him by
in the
Han
outer-
Solo, which Crimson Dawn, that wouldn't make sense because this is after the fact.
This is Crimson Jack. This is the guy from
Right, but I didn't know if they would have any connection. Which that doesn't make sense because this takes after the fact.
Okay, so Crimson Jack is one of Jod-Na Nawud's. His name is Jod-Na Nawud's aliases. What the fuck? Sorry, guys, we're learning. Anyway.
We can make the connection later.
Yeah,
We can-
something. Who knows? But that means that Han Solo might know who he is. Which,
You just said Han Solo doesn't
Like,
know who he is. At
in
least from a Legends perspective, he
Yes.
knows who he is.
So I thought another callback. They brought back like the Jabba's palace, like little eyes, which I feel like they do every like 5 years. But like, so they brought those back. I thought that was cool, and I thought it was like funny. It was like fucking another goddamn like 80s joke where they have like 3 of them around him. Like we gotta make sure we see every angle of this guy.
Yeah.
This cat owl thing is cute. I
Yeah.
like it.
Well, when it was moving its hand around, like when it was making the phone call, I had no idea what it was going to be. I was like, "What the hell is that?"
Yeah, we had. I thought it was like a T-Rex, or like not T-Rex, but like a dinosaur or something. It was like a velociraptor claw.
It was going to be a dinosaur.
But then like I remember seeing like the cover image of the episode and remember seeing an owl and like, oh, okay, that's who that's gonna be. But yeah, it was like an owl with like a cat face and whiskers. I was confused, but it hooted. So you think it meows sometimes?
No, I think it's just Star Wars owl.
So yeah, they're going through, and she was like, "Place was a mess, by the way." But they're like trying to figure stuff out.
I thought it was funny. He was like, "It looks like you've been cleaning up." Back to one of those jokes again. It's just like, what the hell?
I don't hate it,
I don't hate it either.
but it's
it
just
gi-
so not Star Wars.
It gives
but,
me
like,
a
it's
little
cool.
laugh when I'm watching it. And it's kind of nice. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
this
so
show,
not Star Wars.
I was
don't
I was
mind.
sitting there last night and I was just like, this is not Star Wars.
But not like how Acolyte wasn't Star Wars.
Well, anyways, I was like, this is not Star Wars, but I like it.
Yeah, like it definitely is Goonie Star Wars, and like I really don't mind it. So like okay, then then they're talking to this owl and forgot her name. Sorry,
Kim.
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 I don't know.
KY.
why. No, I think it's just KIM.
No, it's KY, some abbreviation, like some fucking, I don't know. It was weird.
Something fucking, I don't know.
It was a
Kim,
weird.
okay.
Listen,
So-
it was weird.
Kim is like, oh, at Atten. Like at Atten. And like she goes and gets this scroll, which I think is funny because it's so pirate, like the old scroll that we have. Like, why isn't it like in the computer? But whatever. She pulls it out, and like this is when we learn that there's like these other planets that
there's,
are like all like this at Atten place that are like these treasure planets. And she's saying something about how like they've all been destroyed, and I guess Atten still stands.
Well, the legend is that Atten is still standing.
Yeah. And another good point that they brought up, or callback they brought up, is the one girl was like, oh, it's in the same system as or around the system of, I know she said Alderaan, but I think she said Coruscant.
Coruscant,
Coruscant and Alderaan. And the owl was like, ooh, since the war, like, you guys like don't know about Alderaan. And they were like, oh, like no one said anything, but like,
Well, no, they said what war?
yeah, but
They
that's
had
what I'm saying.
no idea.
Alderaan doesn't exist anymore.
They literally had no clue that any of the war between the Empire happened. None of it.
And they're young, so like obviously like they're young enough. This is 5 years after they were under 5 when the Empire was destroyed.
Yeah.
So like first off, if their parents didn't tell them, they wouldn't know anyways. And B, like I don't know if the people on that
I
planet.
think it's just hidden. I don't know if it's they don't know or if they're just not telling them.
Yeah. So then they started talking, and they were talking about like different atmospheric pressure. Like they were going so much more in depth of drop because like she's trying to find this planet.
Right.
And like, so they're like, okay, we have a general idea, and then they were like, tell us about this like barrier thing, and they were explaining it, and she was like, it's what gas did she say?
What?
She said something about the type of gas that they were using.
Oh, I don't know.
Atmospheric gas that was like clouding it from the outside world,
Yeah.
and that like narrowed it down even more. And then obviously like he turns up the what the fuck are those called? I'm losing my shit.
Yeah, you're making me lose mine.
He turned up the signal, and he could hear that the X-wings were coming,
Yeah.
and he's like, well, motherfucker, and like pulls out his gun on her.
Well, right before that, she like grabbed Fern and like looked at her coat and like took the symbol
Yeah,
that
you're
was on her
right.
coat and somehow deciphered that.
Yeah, because like she was deciphering that symbol because like if what she knows about Atten is that it's like a treasure planet utopia thing, that this symbol came from somewhere. It's built off of other things.
Right.
So she was like breaking down the symbol, and then she was like, yeah, like we could figure this out by we could figure it out by the rest of tonight. And he's like, why are you stalling? And I was like, oh fuck, he does. That's when it was like confirmed he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
And yeah, so then he fucking like
He pulled
throws
out his
her.
gun and then immediately fucking blasted it. I was like, she like took off and he like started shooting. And I was like, damn, I don't know what the hell he's done or what the hell their history is, but like this isn't good.
Yeah. And then it prints out the fucking coordinates, so he just steals them and then fucking throws the damn owl.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, dude.
And then just fucking darts out of there. I thought it was interesting that KB like stayed back and had a conversation with Kim. I thought that was very interesting. And then I don't know. I don't know. That was weird. I feel like
Yeah.
Kim's gonna come back.
Yeah, I do too. And like she's telling KB this stuff, and then KB they like go to the ship, and they were like, okay, you're not allowed on the ship. Like you got to tell us who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
Dude, and KB fucking rocks him.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, dude. Yeah, like they're full like sent, and like then they have fucking SM backing them up, and so he like half explains. Well, let's make a deal. Let's get the fuck out of here. And there's something I want to mention about this ship. So I've talked shit about them before, but the Falcon's guns suck. The Millennium Falcon. These guns were way better. Like the way you move with them. Dude, I'm sorry. The way that they were moving in those guns in like the 4th, 5th, and 6th movie. Dude, the Falcon's guns seem like the hardest fucking thing to shoot ever.
Oh yeah. I'd love to try it though.
No, dude, you're like...
Tell you what,
How the fuck do you get this thing to work?
I get motion sick like a motherfucker. Between flying the fucking ship and then also that thing, like, there's no way I'm not just puking everywhere.
I'm surprised there hasn't been, like, one of the kids to get motion sickness yet.
On the Acolyte, you know. She gets motion sick, so she doesn't travel.
Okay, done. No more this episode.
But yeah, I don't disagree. Like, the kids, every time they take off, they're just screaming.
Yeah, so I was going to get to that point. Fucking Neil screaming was hilarious.
Oh, by the way, when they were sleeping before they got to the planet, when fucking Neil was asleep and his, like, trunk made the little noise when he was snoring, I was like, what the fuck?
Dude, Neil's the best fucking character. I fucking love him.
He's the Jar Jar.
I mean, yes, but no. Because he's not, like, annoying.
He is, though. But
he's not annoying.
He is that character, though.
He's like the funny guy, but he's not annoying. It's not like Jar Jar, where Jar Jar's like, blah, like every 5 seconds and shit. Like, he's just tooting his trunk.
Move your trunk. Let's go.
Yeah, so
That was hilarious.
come on, move your trunk. Let's get it.
I laughed out loud so hard watching that
dude,
part.
and then Neil screams at the end, and it's funny. He's like, ah! Because he has him fly.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
The guy that got out of the X-Wing, I thought was going to be the guy that was
From Mando.
Mando and Ahsoka.
Yeah.
I thought that's who it was going to be. That would have been really cool.
The dude that's in, I think he's in that show called Convenience Store, or Mr. Kim's Convenience Store, something like that. I think he's really
he
good,
works
though.
for Kim in both movies or both shows.
That might be what it's called.
I'm just kidding. I don't know. But I thought it was going to be him. That would have been really cool if it was him. That would have been funny, too. It would have been like, here's this guy.
Yeah.
Or if it was like Dave Filoni that got out of there. That would have been funny, too. His fucking cowboy
It would have
hat.
been Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. It would have been funny.
That would have been cool. I think it was.
Cowboy 1 and
Dude,
Cowboy 2.
literally watching The Mandalorian, and then it was like,
Was he Favreau? Or Filoni's already been in the show. He has to be that character.
I think it was just funny, though. He literally was just himself. He's like, I'm going to be in Star Wars, in the Star Wars universe, and I'm just going to play me. And he did. Like, that was awesome.
Yeah, not like George. George is like, I need a full outfit.
Yeah, George is like, I'm going to become an alien and, like, just dress up. And Dave Filoni's like, nah, I'm going to be me.
Yeah. So then, next episode starts, and they're, like, at this planet. And they land, and instantly I'm like, okay, this is not ad.
I was like, well, they said something. It was like, have we been gone for like 100 years? And I low-key for a hot second was like, have they? No, legit.
That's not how time works.
I
in
know,
Star
but
Wars.
like, just because their planet is behind this, like, I don't know if their planet is just different. You know what I mean?
No, because we got the clip in the early second.
I guess you're not
the
wrong.
third episode where it shows.
But still, though, I was like, they had me like confused. I was like, wait a second, what the fuck?
Yeah, so they land though, and you can kind of see that this place looks like shit. It looks like a forest fire.
Mm-hmm.
And so they get out and they go to explore, and they tell Solo he can't leave. Dude, the babysitting sequence with him in SM I was fucking laughing out loud.
Come here, baby.
Come on, baby, babysitting time. Come on, baby.
See, the way he talks. You said you were talking shit in the first episode about how he talked. I love how he
he's
talks.
so like I don't know, like he doesn't sound like a droid is what I was meaning.
He doesn't
to say.
sound like a droid at all, but I'm here for it. He sounds like
I
a
like
pirate. He literally, like we talked about, he adopted how pirates talk as a droid.
Because like I've never seen that type of droid, and he's just so different than every other droid.
He has like a personality.
Yeah, and like it's like, yeah, like you said, it's nice. He's
Can't say I remember an Adden.
Can't say I remember an Adden. Like, yeah, dude, and like yeah. So then they start exploring, and like instantly, I'm like, they're so fucked.
Yeah, I was like, that's stupid. What the fuck are you
And
doing?
we see these little like half stormtrooper Mandalorian helmet kids.
I was telling Ryan about it last night. I was like, because I just watched it on my computer, and I was like, it's kind of Mad Maxy. That's
Mad Max was a funny one.
That's kind of how I was like interpreting it. I
Yeah,
mean,
or
this
like-
is like a
like
Star
kind of like,
Wars version of Mad Max.
What movie is it that? I'm trying to think of what movie that is in. There's like those desert people in the one movie, isn't there? What movie is that? Is that like the? Is that Solo, Rogue One, or what the fuck movie is that? There's like
I don't
those. You know what I'm talking about, though? It's like they're wearing like those helmets and they're like take them off. And they live in like that sand desert area.
Dune?
Yeah, I mean, kind of, dude.
That is kind of Dune. I mean, I've never seen Dune, but I mean, I guess that probably might be what that it kind of is. But I was just like, this is Mad Maxy.
I knew the way I looked that up, I was never going to get the answer I wanted. You can't type sand into Star Wars and then people and not get a Tusken Raider or a Jawa. So we're not going to further that.
But yeah, I mean, I was kind of like, this is kind of Mad Maxy. And then now that I just said it, I mean, the vibe I get from like what I've seen of Dune, I mean, kind of.
Yeah,
like
I
at least like
Dune,
at
I haven't
least
gotten around to it.
right. I've thought about it too, but also like not necessarily like the story of Dune, but like how they're like in the sandy desert and they're kind of like they seem separated and stuff. Like they have different clans. Like that's just how I see it from what I've seen. But like I don't know, but yeah, they're like separated
it's
into
kind of Mandalore.
yeah, kind of
Just a desert
Mandalorian too. I mean, they're kind of just in different clans, and they're like,
what flag do you fly? And I was
Yeah.
like, this is the most pirate shit I've ever seen.
right.
I
mean,
fly a Jolly Roger.
That's where I got like Mad Maxy, because it was like, what flag do you fly? And I was like, okay. I was like, they're about to fucking beat the shit out of them, but okay.
Yeah, and like so they're like hiding from these people. First off, they brought back EOPs, which are the little things that like Obi-Wan rides in
Right.
the show. But yeah, I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Because like it looked like even I was saying like this looks like AT-AT. No, I think that's what fucked me up. And like even they kept saying, oh, this looks like AT-AT. And like, oh, that's a school. And I was like, that's a school you fuckers go to.
Well, that's where I got like, have they been gone for as long as they said? Because like it was just so confusing, because it was like it did look like AT-AT.
But it started to make sense when Kim had said like there was planets
Right.
exactly like yours. I didn't know she meant exactly like yours.
Right.
Like so that makes me think there's 7 of 8 or 8 planets that were identically made, and like that makes it even more confusing to me because
Right, yeah.
or is the treasure the people you're preserving?
It can't be, because remember in the trailer you said it looked like Hondo, like a layer for Hondo, like where the treasure probably is, like what we get to see in the trailer. By the way, I think the show's done an amazing job that when you watch a trailer for something, it happens pretty early on in the show or early on in the like movie or whatever. But like this show, a lot of the stuff in the trailer hasn't happened yet. And we're halfway through the show, which I love, because I'm just sitting here and I'm like, yeah, I've seen the trailer, but I still don't know what's gonna happen. Like even with seeing like parts of it, I still don't know
I've
what's gonna
never
happen.
been more like, what the fuck's going on?
Right. I literally have no clue what's going on.
Yeah, and so like kind of one of my notes I wrote is like, why did they build these sister planets? I mean, obviously that's the question everybody has, but I was typing as I went and I'm just like, why the fuck are these like this?
Right.
And I like the idea. It kind of reminds me, it reminds me of Divergent.
I mean, yeah, I said
like,
that day one.
I like the idea that like, because I feel like this is how this would go, but like if our planet broke down and how other planets break down, like if you broke down government and the way of life, it legit would just section into factions and people would live like, this is our area, this is our territory,
or like
we do this,
or like a Hunger Games.
yeah, like, kind of, yeah, like, but
Well,
that still has like an overarching like.
Well, yeah, well, not the fact of like the districts and stuff like that is what I meant. Like not the actual like story.
I was trying to think of what they were called.
Not the
Districts.
not the actual
It's like,
story
it's not
to
sectors. Fuck, what is it called?
no, but like the
Districts.
different districts where they have different jobs, they have a certain purpose.
Yeah.
And they're like sectioned off between each one.
Yeah, and then
like,
it gets into that Divergent section where it's like, this is your fucking job.
Right.
Pick where you want to be. Here's what your job is.
right.
I guess all these people pick Dauntless, but so then they capture him. They take him to the school, and it was very like, it's just weird because it's like, what happened on this planet and when did it happen? Because this planet looks like it got like airstriked.
Yeah. I said nuked when I was explaining it to Ryan, but I was like, that's not right, because like it's not destroyed.
Yeah, it's
So
just
it hasn't been nuked. So I mean, but it definitely has been like.
It just reminded me when, like, before they get captured, fucking Wim, they went up to the statue. What did he call Mr.
Oh no, that was. Oh, you said Wim. I thought you said
Mr.
Neil.
No Head Guy. He's like, you think his name's Mr. No Head Guy?
Oh, it's King No Head.
Yeah, or something like that. President No Head, whatever the fuck he said. I'm like, dude, that's such an old joke. Fuck.
Yeah.
And like, I don't hate it. That's what's pissing me off. I'm like, I feel like I should hate this more than I do.
Yeah.
But yeah. So then so they're like, they have to like prove themselves. So they're like shooting all these guns and stuff. They all suck besides KB. And Neil's like, I don't want to do this. So then she turned to Neil. She's like, come on, and grabbed him by his trunk and turned him on. I was fucking laughing. Dude, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I know he has a trunk, but you gotta, like, that's the only thing about him. It's just, come on.
It's just his trunk and his comb over. All he's got going for him. He's like, no, I don't think we should. That's
Yeah, and
about
then,
it.
like,
It's about all Neil got.
So, like, and then he, like, they go and they get food. Looks terrible once again. Disgusting. And he, like, gives it to those little kids that look hungry. And she like, starts to, like, lighten up a little bit. And then, like, they're talking. And she was like, I was going to show you this big gun. Another big fucking gun.
Yeah.
That looks like the guns that were on the sides of, like Star Destroyers.
Yeah. It was a big ass fucking cannon, dude.
And then, so they're talking, and he was like, why can't there just be peace? Like, on our planet, there's peace. Like, you guys could just say you're sorry. And I was like, you're so, like, such a kid.
You're so naive.
Yeah. And, I thought it was funny. I forget what he was saying. He was like, they were talking about being brave. And he was like, the one time I was being brave is when my little brother stole something from me. I chased him around his house, and he was like, and then I sprayed into my trunk. I was like, can they spray in their fucking trunk? What does that mean? Do you, like, hyperextend it? Because it's not a bone.
I mean, we don't know what's in it.
I don't know, but he said he sprained his trunk. Dying laugh. I had to pause it. I was laughing so hard. I was like, what the fuck? And then they said that they have to lead their little, like, strike to go get their EOBs
Yeah, dude.
back.
I was like, what the? Like, they're like, we honor our kids. And you guys are going to show us. You guys have a captain. You guys are going to show us how brave you are.
Yeah,
and you're going to lead us.
this.
You're going to lead us to our next victory. And I was sitting there like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, and they
here?
start going. And what the fuck? Were those guns that they were holding?
Yeah.
Because they looked like spears.
Well, they were shooting them in the school.
They just look weird as fuck.
They did look weird, and what they shot was weird looking too. I was like,
Yeah,
it kind
like
of
repulsor
when it
cannons.
shot, it kind of looked like the thing when Ezra had his slingshot.
Yeah, kind
It
of.
kind of looked like that, where it didn't like kill them. It kind of just that might have been why they gave it to the kids because it wouldn't kill somebody.
So then they go up and like fucking somehow Silvo. Well, we find out why, but we see Silvo with the Iopes and he's with SM and like fine. Because the last time we saw him, they were walking out of the ship and then he was like, "All right, fucking kill me."
By the way,
that shit was funny.
we skipped over that because we were just talking about the kids, but Silva was trying to because 33 had a moment where he remembered at Aden.
Or like kind of knew.
Well, he did. No, he remembered because he said he remembered at Akron. I think we talked about this beforehand.
He said, "I've been here before," talking about this planet.
Yeah, but then he asked him, "Do you remember at Aden?" And he says, "Oh, I do." He said he remembered at Aden because he was trying to get him to remember. He's like, "Let's jog your memory," because he walked him outside to try to get him to remember at Akron to try to boost his memory.
I don't know if
at
that's what
Aden.
it's called.
I think it's at.
I thought it was at Atkin.
At Anakin.
No, but
By the way, stupid ass fucking names. Like, let's just get that out, dude. What the hell? We were gonna find out a little bit. All fucking like 9 of them started with at and then started with an A.
because you're going to at Atten. I'm at Atten. We already talked about this.
Yeah, it's stupid.
I'm at Atten.
I think it's stupid.
But we haven't got to that yet.
Yeah.
So, they're going, and then he comes out and he sees that they're because SM's like, what did he say? He was like, all these people or something like that. all these worries. And he's like, what are you talking about? Then like the dust clears and he's like, I give up, shoot me. And then they find out the reason he was able to do that is because he went through their bags and gave them Republic credits. Yeah, dude, like he's a thief.
Yeah.
Like he's a pirate of pirates. So then we go and he meets them and they're like, okay, we'll take you to this like ancient
I don't remember what they called it.
ruins temple thing. And they were like, oh, that's just the what did he call it? Not the
I
control
almost
tower.
said Principal's Tower.
No, special.
I think it starts with a P.
It's one of those words that's like,
Yeah.
whatever. Doesn't matter. So they go up to this tower and then he like hotwires it. I'm like, okay, he knows how to hotwire too. He's a fucking pirate.
Yeah.
And they start going up and they get in there and I'm like, okay, this thing looks fucking weird. It looks like 900 Republica. 500 Republica. What the fuck am I talking about? 500 Republica where Padme lives.
Yeah.
Like it looks super like nice and like marble and granite. And they start looking like, okay, this is this, and then this is for at Atkin or at Akron, whatever the fuck we're calling it. This is for at Poten or whatever the hell they said.
They all started with an A.
Yeah, whatever. All these plants, and then like of course Neil's like, I found it, and it's just slashed.
Yeah,
and I was just like, are you fucking? I was so pissed for them.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? And
Dude, yeah. And then obviously everybody's devastated, and then Fern really has a moment where she's just like distraught, and it's because like she's one of those kind of kids that's like knows everything, doesn't care what anybody thinks, and she's having a moment where she's like just upset. She wants to be home. Like at the end of the day, she's a fucking kid, and she's taking this role of being a captain and all this and like leading everybody. And I thought it was nice when Wim was like, I mean,
we couldn't have done this shit.
yeah,
Like,
if I was in charge, we wouldn't have been this far.
I did note after that. Before that happens, the girl goes over and kisses Neil. Neil pulls bitches. Let's just say that was a note.
Jesus.
Why is everything so fucking dusty in this show, dude? That shit made me sick when they were wiping off the fucking coordinates. Ugh. But SM33 just like I wrote this before the second half happens of this like section, but I'm like, dude, like he's like, oh, I did that. What are you guys talking about? What's that adding? Like, but he just keeps like his brain keeps like overriding.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting because might as well just start it because Fern just had a
she's back to being a genius.
A light bulb moment where she's like,
I'm surprised they didn't show a light bulb.
Right, where she's like, I do this all the time at home, and it's like memory override. And he does, and he fucking snapped. And
I do remember. We were on this mission. We were on this planet. And he was like, my captain told me to fucking rip apart anybody who asked.
He's like, the captain slaughtered everybody that saw the coordinates, and I was supposed to kill anybody that asked.
It makes me so... That's where I'm like, it's not Silva.
Right. Well...
Because Silva would have known that SM-33 knew where it was at. And Silva would have been on the ship when it crashed. Unless he escaped, which doesn't make any sense. But it makes me think that Silva knows about the ship.
Right.
Maybe he knows SM-33 or knew of him, or...
Well, he did say something when he saw the ship. When they were flying towards it in the third episode, he was like,
this piece of shit.
There's no way it's that, right? And it was kind of just like, I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe it's like a famous pirate ship. I don't know.
I mean, if they did all that and they're supposed to like have the key to Aden, like it would be a famous pirate ship, be like, oh, these are the motherfuckers, the crew that knows the way to get there.
So then I was like, SM-33 keeps getting more interesting, wonder what all he knows. And then it was like, Fern keeps proving herself. Good trick that she did. And then immediately it was like, but it's going to get them all killed.
Yeah.
He went fucking psycho, dude.
I thought he would have done, by the way, the camera angle, fucking creepy as shit. It was like right here, right underneath of him. And he was just like, it was fucking creepy as fuck. But,
dude, SM-33 is the most interesting character in the show.
I mean, yeah, we don't
like because like he was like, yeah, I did that. Like, no one's supposed to know where it's at, and then like of course you have Silva coming back to that trick that he did. always go for the power switch. I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. Why didn't everybody else do that?
Right. I mean, the kids are just they're about to die. They
Dude,
don't know.
and Neil has balls through
Yeah.
that fucking thing. I was like, come at me, motherfucker. And then it kind of ends. I thought it was funny as fuck. Neil is like he fucking hits power switch and he like falls on him and Neil's like, he like that feint was fucking funny.
And then his comb over was just right there. It was perfect.
The blue comey. Yeah, dude. This shit was Dude, I'm so intrigued for the next episode.
Yeah.
I feel like the next episode's gonna be a lot of shit.
Yeah, I feel like 5 or 6 has to be a heavy hitter. The actor, what's his name?
Jude Law.
Jude Law. He said episode 7 is his favorite, and it has the most information about him, like his character.
Yeah, because like there's everything is so questioned, but not in a bad way.
I think 5 is going to be a heavy hitter. I think 6 is going to be another story-ish kind of episode like these two. And then I think that 7 is going to be maybe not as impactful, like crazy, but we're going to get a lot of information about him. Obviously, he said that. I mean, I don't know why we wouldn't. And then I think episode 8 is going to be a heavy hitter, obviously.
I hope episode 8 though is a wrap up. Like I hope they actually like finish the show.
Yeah.
But another thing that's weird too is like I'm trying to really think about who this fucking captain is, because he still has so much loyalty to him. Then
Hondo.
no, it doesn't make
Do you
sense.
think? Yeah.
No, because I think the captain survived the crash. I
Yeah.
think the captain is on the planet.
It still could be Hondo.
What if it's Wendell?
Wendell? It's definitely not Wendell.
No, but like I feel
Dude,
like
what if it is Hondo? Because you said like the treasure room that we think from the trailer is what it is. It kind of looked like Hondo.
yeah, but like is that on Atten?
I don't know.
Because that doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
Because Hondo should be dead.
I guess you could look that up in a Legends perspective, how old he is.
I don't know, but like the theory I originally had was that it was kind of like this Atlantis planet, but like after we found out there was more of them, that's clearly not what it is. But I'm starting to think too that it might be like, so you know how there's that one bunker, I don't remember where it's at. I think it's in the Arctic, but there's a bunker that we have that is just like every seed that's like the useful seeds of the planet, and we like have like doomsday bunkers. God, he's old. But you know how I'm talking about? How we have like doomsday bunkers?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like that's what these planets are. It's just in case, like, someone did take over the world, they'd never be able to find it. Like, they're preservation planets.
On Wikipedia, Hondo does not have a death, and then on this AI like thing on Google, it says that he's still alive in the Star Wars universe.
He's so much older than what he should be. But kind of what I was saying, like, I think it's weird because, like, what the fuck are the purpose of these 8 planets?
I don't know.
Like, I feel like they have to be like preserving something, and then if it's not, is it like, well, when were these planets done? That's the thing that's confusing me, because I'm like, okay, maybe it was to hide the Republic shit, but I'm like, the Republic fell so quickly into the Empire that I'm like, I feel like they wouldn't have time to do that.
Well, so it's
Which
like,
makes me think it's from the High Republic era.
well, we talk about, like, I told you before, like, the second game for the Cal Kestis games, the whole point is to find this planet that's kind of like how the path is to get to it is like Exegol. In the sequels, it's kind of like you have to maneuver a certain way and, like, go through this certain, like,
Wormholes.
yeah,
and
to
shit.
get to it. And they have that planet. That planet is from the High Republic. And they found it. It was still there. Granted, that is before the show, so I don't know where that falls into it. If it got destroyed after the fact, that might be where Cal's third game comes in, and we get to watch it be destroyed. And it could have been one of the planets.
Maybe. I don't know where they're going in a good way.
Right.
Because, like, I don't actually know.
Right.
Like, there's not, like, a guess.
There's not a guess. I like that still nobody's been tied into it. Like we talked about before, like, it's cool that they have all these callbacks, or, like, we get to see something like the battle droid.
Yeah, I don't want to see Luke Skywalker.
I don't either.
I don't want to see this.
I wouldn't.
Hondo would be the only cool one. And it's because he's a
Hondo-
fucking pirate.
Hondo would have been cool. He would be cool. I think, at least still. But I don't think any.
I think like a weird reference at the pirate thing being like, yeah, did you hear about Solo? He's in there with the rebellion.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that could have been funny, but like, I don't need to see them.
even if he's in it, that's okay. But like though him, Solo, Chewbacca, and Hondo better be the only possibilities. Other than that, there shouldn't be another character
Him and Solo.
if they somehow like come around in this.
Who's
Show.
him though?
I said him, and then I meant.
Oh, you meant Han.
That's why I changed it to the
Oh, okay.
names because I was like that didn't make sense. But no, Solo, Chewbacca, and Hondo.
I think Chewie's a little out there.
It's
Chewie's
just
only a scoundrel with Han.
yeah, but he would be with Han at this point.
I guess.
So that's the only reason why.
Or
I
like
say
they
Chewie.
mentioned like, yeah, that Wookiee's giving us shit or something like that. They don't have to directly say Chewbacca.
Or R2D2 and C3PO because they're the only ones that have been in everything.
Nah, they can't be in it. They're
This
off with Luke. And
this would be the first time they're not in something.
they weren't an acolyte. Fuck you, Tom.
That doesn't fucking count.
They've not been not in any of the movies.
I don't know, but those are the only three characters I think that would be okay to have in this show. Anybody else is just like, all right, you're just throwing this person in there for because clearly they have nothing to do with what's going on.
Yeah, dude. We've already gotten 4 episodes in, and it like you didn't show anybody yet, bro. You don't need to show anybody.
Yeah,
we're okay.
I think the only one that really should is Hondo.
I could also see a Hutt. I could see a Hutt being in there, but it wouldn't be Jabba, obviously.
No.
What's Jabba's son's name? It was in the Clone Wars episode.
Stinky.
No. It's not Zero. Zero is
Zero's his nephew. I don't remember.
No, Jabba is Zero's nephew.
Jabba just seems so much older than Zero. It's crazy.
Sorry, guys. I'm looking for this name. Rada. It could be Rada.
Yeah, because they were talking about casting one person to play him. What's that actor's name? Did they say what that was for?
Fuck, you just caught me off guard. Is it?
I don't know.
Is it the guy from The Bear?
Yeah.
Something Alan White. Is it Jeremy Allen White? What is his name?
I don't know. But he's supposed to play.
The hell?
This is Candlewood.
I don't know what that is. Anyway,
He's supposed to play Jabba's son in one of the projects. What project did it?
no fucking
I
clue.
don't remember.
But yeah, I hope some of you guys comment down what your guys' theory is. I'm very interested. Yeah, I think we're in a good spot right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We'll see you guys next time.